Hello and welcome back to Gary and River vs Potionomics Day 43. I am working today towards earning all of that money I need in order to... There's a spider on my desk. Hang on. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, good news and bad news. Bad news, I failed to catch the spider. Good news, it's a very, very small one. Bad news, I have no idea where the spider is now. Bad news, it could be anywhere. Bad news, there is a spider loose in my office somewhere. Good news, it is a very, very small one. I don't know how that balances out, but now I'm super paranoid. Masterwork, potion, 2-star. Sight enhancer, wow, 5-star, 5 positives. That is probably the best potion I could possibly make for that. Insight enhancer, 3-star. Alertness enhancer, 2-star. Speed potion, oh, that wasn't a great one, was it? I put in stuff to counteract that. It's really annoying traits are random. And some, oh no, not tolerance potion, but the mana is ready. And the mana is ready. And oh, would you look at that? The mana is ready. And the health is ready. Vending machine stocked up. Brilliant. Also, I have things to send. I forgot about that. Quinn, have one of them and one of them. Off you go. Rank 10 unlocked. Muktuk, have one of them and one of them. Off you go. Rank 10 unlocked. Let's make some more health potions because I may need them. Same with mana. Let's see. If that's what the rank 9 sort of challenge is going to be for all of them, can I try and predict what they might be? Quinn has confessed a desire to learn what their parents are up to and Sylvia has resolved to help. Muktuk hopes that his enthusiasm for his craft is persuasive and that Sylvia will choose to make use of his creations. Sylvia is concerned that Mint's determination to prove herself is in fact holding her back. Alright, so it'll be Saffron's one next. I reckon that she'll need like a shadow tonic to help with like bad fears or whatever. Oh wow, Luna's one's next as well. Stamina potion. Guaranteed Luna will need a stamina potion. Still a couple off Roxanne's, but what could she possibly need? Couple off salt and pepper. I think I've got this, you know, Corsac as well. I think I've got this. I can do this. Maybe a silence cure for Xid to like overcome her, I don't know, stage fright? Which she doesn't have, but maybe she will, sort of as the final hurdle. I'm kind of surprised there's not a dowsing enhancer for Mint, you know, like to help find what she's looking for. Or seeking, you know? I'm betting Luna's will be like a drowsiness and a stamina, and it's like ultra coffee or whatever. Trying to preempt, let's get some drowsiness cures. It's a complete guess whether Xid is going to need silence cure, but just in case. Again, complete guess whether I'll need shadow tonics. I'll age up the remainder of the sight enhancers. A random stamina potion I've got. And I basically run out of things to age up. But I've got some bugs, and some grapes, and some mushrooms, and some mana. Ooh, I should save these to mass produce quartz. Yes, that's a good idea. I won't need to. No, I won't need to, but I think I will save them anyway. Oh, bugger. I've just realised I've put in a load of stuff to brew, and I'm getting a load of arcane quartz to upgrade the cauldrons. Damn, okay. Yeah, alright, that was silly of me. I guess now I go and see what's going on with these guys. Whether I can just rank up immediately? I can't. Okay, I wasn't sure if that would just instantly unlock it, but no, it just means it's possible to do it. So I still need to get their friendship up. Baptiste, what have you got for me? 7 quartz, good, nothing else new. Let's get 4 of each. Yeah, go on then, eat an arcane quartz. I've got time to produce some more while I'm waiting for the cauldrons to empty. I've now bought enough fuel that I can get the final upgrade. Fixer-upper, achievement unlocked. Brilliant, thank you Saffron. Yes, I've unlocked Xid's rank up. Brilliant, I will be back. I'll be back. Treasure, what do we have? Oh, ocean coast, ice crags. That's not new. Nope. Cool. Anything good in here? Cures? Cures is probably a good one to go for because then again I can have a nice variety. Ziddy, 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 ziddy. It just occurred to me, we're both in the business of curing people of what ails them.
I hadn't thought of it that way before.
I've got a point though, right? Your potions replenish health and shield against damage, and live music has the power to soothe the soul. I could use some soothing right now, actually.
Well, I got a few ideas.
Keep it clean. So let's hope this does the trick. Xid leads Sylvia to the waterfront, where a temporary stage has been constructed and a battle of the bands is in progress. Sylvia's never seen anything quite like it before. It's not just music. Each band employs magic and dazzling displays of pyrotechnics. There are laser light shows, phantasmal backup dancers, and illusory fireworks. And through it all, Xid just scowls.
What's the matter, Songbird?
Oh! There's a pet name for her. That's so cute. That is so cute.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a bummer. These things normally cheer me right up, but today it's all just a stark reminder of how audiences cheer style over substance.
Yeah, I can totally get why that would just bum someone out, yeah.
Which makes me question pretty much everything, actually. The time and effort I'm putting into writing a song of my own, is that just vanity?
There are so many reasons I resonate with Xid. No pun intended. She does capture this idea of artist and artistry and self-expression, and is it more important to do what you love or do what people want? You know, yeah, I really like what Xid's story and its struggles and emotional stuff's all about.
Back home, I have professional songwriters lining up to work with me. Maybe I should stick to what I'm good at and stop chasing windmills.
What you're good at?
Should I put my thoughts to music? Following dreams can be pretty tough. I'm better off not trying to write me own stuff.
But I thought it was going well.
I thought so too. I was so confident, in fact, that I dropped in on an open mic night yesterday. I performed 2 songs. One of them was the original piece I've been working so hard on. The other was something new my manager sent me, the ballad of Greenbeard the Slime Slayer. It's every bit as juvenile and uninspired as it sounds. But of the 2 songs, Greenbeard was the clear favourite.
I don't know what to say. I don't think it's that one. That's comforting, but doesn't help. Then again, I suppose that is also almost the definition of comforting, but not helping. I kind of think it's this one, though. Because that's, you know, that feels more like that sucks that this is the way things are. Whereas this one is, that's not the way things are, screw them.
Screw that audience, what do they know? Well, for one thing, they know what my song sounds like. I appreciate your support, but an artist can't ignore negative feedback. I thought I had a really solid idea, Sil. Something that hadn't been done before. I used all the conventions of a traditionally heroic ballad, but instead of focusing on an action hero, I wrote about a regular, everyday citizen. I wanted to show how the average woman is every bit as remarkable and worthy of celebration as a muscled dude with a sword. That sounds pretty interesting. I thought so too, but the audience didn't know what to make of it. Shouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised if I'm honest. But I am disappointed. I was really hoping that crowd would prove me wrong. Instead, they confirm what I've known all along. People don't want new and different, they want tried and true. So from now on, that's just what I'll give them. I don't know. You're the sweetest, I can see that you're concerned. But you don't have to worry about me, I'll be fine. I took a shot at something new and it didn't work out. But I still have plenty to offer. Including haggling tips. Remember a minute ago when I put my woes to song? Admit it, that catchy tune had you hooked. Catchy tune. Raise interest by the most recent raised interest amount. Okay, interesting. I can use that in haggling, sure, but I'd rather cheer you up. I must be taken to this hero gig because the idea of spotting some monsters is more than enough to cheer me up. If you really want to help, you Could always kick some potions my way, then I could go and blow off some steam. Xid is planning to take her professional frustrations out on monsters, but I think she'll be happier if she pulls that energy into her art. Petrification and silence, I called that one. Xid faced some tough crowds recently. Silence and petrification cures will keep her from climbing up or shutting down. Got it. And Saffron. I had something a little different in mind for today. Have you ever made whiskey from tree sap? Tree sap whiskey? I didn't even know that was possible. It's possible, and it's delicious. A cat by the name of Sugar entrusted the recipe to me. He was one of my companions, the rogue of the group, and our captain when we were on the water. His damage output was matched only by his alcohol tolerance, and tree sap whiskey was his favourite. He used to say it had more kick than an angry center mule. I'm sold. Where do we start? Well, the first thing we gotta do is ask a tree for permission to tap it. Seriously, you can talk to the trees? In truth, it's less about talking and more about listening. Trees are constantly communicating. They send out signals to other trees about environmental hazards, and each tree's leaves and bark hold a treasure trove of information about its health and history. Actually, I have heard that, this is going to be depressing. I have heard that, the freshly cut grass smell, which is just so appealing to virtually every single person in the world, is a cry for help. And it's essentially a communication from the grass saying, I'm in distress. How depressing is that? We just gotta find an ambrosia tree of moderate age that has plentiful sap and a genial nature. Saffron leads the way through the forest. She places her palms against certain trees along the path. She seems to be listening for something, but Sylvia hears nothing. At last, Saffron finds a tree that she says will suit their needs. She carves into it with a specially prepared spork made of dark, dense wood. Her sporking skills show great precision. She cuts just deep enough that the wound drips a steady stream of sap into her waiting bucket. Thank you for your generosity, proud sentinel of the wood. I'll patch you up when we're done. Sylvia, we just have to wait until that bucket's full, then we head back to my place. I'm glad you're here to show me the way. I'm totally turned around. I forget some people struggle navigating the woods. Is it just something you get the hang of over time? That's part of it, sure, but the larger piece is about paying attention. Take the trees to start. They may appear interchangeable at a glance, but they don't really look the same at all. This forest contains pines, oaks, glowing willows, all grouped in unique arrangements. Well, that seems a bit dismissive. I should learn the difference. I could at least try to figure out how to distinguish a pine from a, willow. I'd be happy to help with that, but let's set the trees aside for a moment. If what you see is not enough to help you get your bearings, there are other senses you can rely upon. Notice the tang of sea salt on the air. Feel the sponginess of the moss beneath your hooves. This particular spot of woodland is a spot like no other. And this is what I really mean when I talk about mindfulness, Sylvia. It's not about shutting out the stress. It's about what you choose to take in. It's about truly being present. I think I follow you, though I could be better about living in the moment. It's a struggle with our bills to pay. I understand. Maybe this will ease that burden, if only by a little bit. Ah, okay, I've thought I was further along than that. Thanks, that does help. Some whiskey might help too. Is it almost ready? Oh, I'm afraid I may have given you the wrong impression. This process takes several decades. But the anticipation is part of the pleasure. Take the next 30 years to prepare your senses. And in the meantime, I got some cheap moonshine stashed away in one of these tree hollows, I think. That's sort of really interesting as like a theme or an idea of really long-lived people, because clearly Saffron is a lot longer-lived than she seems at first. She seems quite young and youthful, but has clearly been through a lot over like decades and decades. So I really like the idea of like long-lived species
having these things where sort of their equivalent to like going for a drink is 30 years of waiting for whiskey to brew, or whatever you do with whiskey, age in a barrel or whatever. I can actually rank her up again, so I am going to, because I thought this was the next one. I'm almost out of material for my pipe.
I'll go out on a limb and guess you don't buy your tobacco at the marketplace.
It actually ain't tobacco at all, just a soothing blend of flower petals and witch bramble.
No wonder it smells so floral.
Let me show you how I do it. Saffron pulls aside some foliage to reveal a small workstation. Among the tools on display, Sylvia recognizes a mortar and pestle and a small fermenter. Until recently, I reused old jars for fermentation, but Mugtuck's craftsmanship is second to none. I'm sure he's told you so himself. You want to take a spin with a pestle while I cycle out the fermenter? Make it nice and fine. Dried fairy flowers hang from a line that runs between tree branches. Saffron reaches up and plucks a few petals. She places the brittle petals and a pinch of bramble vine into the mortar, which she then hands to Sylvia. Sylvia gets to work grinding the materials down. The repetitive motion and the sound of the clinking pestle lull her into a peaceful haze.
It's kind of relaxing.
Isn't it? Small work with the hands can be meditative, particularly if you aren't the type to enjoy sitting still. And we both know you don't like being idle.
The smell is soothing too. Maybe I should take a puff from your pipe.
Oh, you're flirting with me, Sylvia?
I actually know I have a girlfriend now.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Congratulations. Not sure that's a good idea, though. Even if it isn't tobacco, the smoke isn't good for your lungs. I know that might sound hypocritical of me, but as a fey being, I have less to worry about. That's a cool touch. Humans are fragile, and I like to keep you in one piece. Yeah, that just seems, like, dismissive. I feel like get Saffron, so I tend to say the right thing more often than not, I think.
Well, thanks for looking out for me. You're a good influence.
I'm glad you didn't take offense. If I'm honest, this touches on a topic we've been dwelling on lately. I'm not sure exactly how to put this.
Not to be a total mimic, but remember to breathe.
That's right. Of course, that's right. Managing stress brings serenity in mind, and vice versa. Draw 5 cards, can only be played if stress level is... Oh, that's pretty good for my strategy.
See, you've taught me a lot.
I'm glad about that. I'm glad for the reminder that I can speak openly with you. Here's what has me troubled. You're human, Sylvia, and I'm not. My lifespan is longer than yours. My body is more resilient. I'm not immortal by any means, but chances are I'll still be here when you're gone. I feel this would be I mean, this is powerful among friends. Imagine if, like, I was dating Saffron at this point in this conversation. That would just be hard. Given my history, I'm sure you can imagine how that makes me feel. I feel like that one is the more sort of philosophical response.
The good stuff is worth some hurt. I mean, what's the alternative? You said you don't want to hide away, and that means taking the good and the bad as it comes.
That's certainly wise. It's hard to argue with that I'll be better off unfeeling and alone. I was content in my solitude all these years, but now that I know what I was missing, there's no going back. So I'm not suggesting that we should stop spending time together. Not at all.
That's a relief.
Hey, I'm not one for drama, you know that. I'm only trying to be honest about my fears. And if I'm overprotective at times, or if I seem like I'm trying to push you away, hope you'll at least know where I'm coming from. Not a place of carelessness, quite the opposite.
I know you care about me.
Good, don't forget it. Please be patient with me, Sylvia. This is an adjustment for me. Again, this feels a lot more geared for a relationship than a friendship. It might take me some time to get used to it. I want Saffron to understand that I'm not expecting her to move at anyone's pace but her own. Words don't seem sufficient. A meaningful gesture? Fire and ice. Okay, I didn't expect that at all. Saffron needs reassurance that Sylvia is willing to let her set the pace of their relationship, sacrificing a pair of resistance tonics. How? How? Like, the others sort of make sense, I guess, but this one's like, oh, I don't want to go too quick, I don't want to go too slow. Ah, well, fire and ice. What? Alright, yeah, sure, I can do that. But that's what I wanted to push through and get this second one so that I knew what I needed to brew. Let's rank up my lowest guy, Corsac. I'm glad you dropped in on me today, Sylvia.
Well, thank you, Corsac. That's downright warm.
Trying to take your advice to heart, exchanging pleasantries and the like. It's not all that different from how I conduct myself when I'm in a new biome. The more initiative you show, the easier it is to pivot if things don't go your way. Pivot. Gain 2 shield per card played prior to this card on the current turn. Ooh, that definitely ties into the high card turnover strat.
I can see the parallels. And looking at the town like its own sort of biome makes a certain amount of sense.
It's working out for me anyway. I feel more at ease lately. That said, I wouldn't mind a quick prowl around the forest if you're up for it. Well, how about this weather? Oh, and if you're worried about running into some creatures out here, don't. I'm wearing lycanthrope musk. It keeps most beasts at bay. Although it's supposed to have the opposite effect on women. Yeah, flirt.
I've created a monster, haven't I? Be careful now. It's a fine line between smooth and smarmy, and that's advanced stuff.
I trust we'll get it soon enough. You're an agreeable company, Sylvia. I know that under the best of circumstances I can be a hard man to get to know. And we certainly did not start under the best of circumstances. I'm sorry I went after your business like I did, and I'm very grateful that you chose not to bear a grudge.
Oh, I've got a grudge, alright. The fact that I keep dropping in for small talk, it's all part of my grand revenge scheme.
I recognize that you're joking, not least because the best revenge would have been to just leave me be. That's actually a really sweet thing for him to say. Like, that really shows how far he's come. There's a certain irony to my situation. I'm never lonely in the wilderness. I'm perfectly at ease in my own company or in the company of animals. Squirrels excluded, obviously.
Obviously.
But as soon as I'm around people, all I can see is how different I am. And how poorly I fit into the spaces I'm meant to occupy. I feel like that might be overselling it. That one is sort of saying, you know, you're not that different, we all get lonely sometimes. I feel like that's the better one to say, but I kind of feel like it expects me to say that. I'm going to go with this.
We're all lonely sometimes, just part of being human. But at the very least, I intend to keep your social calendar very full.
Okay, no, that was the right one. I've noticed, and I'm happy for it. Whatever else happens, I know I've got one true friend, and that's not a small thing. Not a small thing at all. 57 grand, that is not much. That is not as much as I was hoping I would get.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Got some berries, got some mushrooms, and got some mana. Health potion, mana potion, drowsiness, silence for Xid, shadow, which turns out not to be needed for Saffron, and tolerance. Fire tonics, ice tonics. Oh, I can actually turn in Xid's one now. Okay, let's do that. Off you go. Xid rank 10. Some cures for tomorrow. More cures. More cures. And some thunder, just because I'm fairly sure across all of the friends I'm going to need at least one of each potion. So, thunder. I'll age up some shadow tonics and some tolerance potions. But I'm going to have to start... Tomorrow, I'm going to have to start looking at making my competition entries. But now that I've got the arcane quartz, I will essentially go and get those upgrades first thing. But that is all I have time for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with more soon, and I will catch you later.